You've probably heard stories of people who went to bed feeling perfectly fine and never woke up. It's terrifying, but even more terrifying, most of them had no warning signs until it was too late. One man, 72 years old, went to bed like every other night. His blood pressure was stable, no pain, no dizziness, no sign of trouble. But around 3, his wife found him collapsed next to the bed, unable to speak. A silent stroke had struck in his sleep, and later, doctors traced it back to one simple habit he'd done before bedtime every single night. Hey friend, I know that sounds scary, but I also know this: you are not powerless. Aging may change the body, but it doesn't take away your ability to make smart choices. In fact, after age 60, your bedtime habits matter more than ever. Here's something that might shock you according to multiple studies. Just one common mistake before bed can raise your stroke risk by over 300%. That's not a typo, 300%. But here's the good news tonight. We'll uncover the dangerous bedtime mistakes that many seniors make without realizing the damage they're causing. And even better, I'll show you exactly how to replace them with small, safe alternatives that protect your brain, your heart, and your independence. So, before you get comfortable, take a moment to like the video and subscribe, but only if this story helps you sleep easier and stay stronger. Let's begin with the first mistake. It's something you might be doing with the best of intentions, but it could be quietly raising your risk every single night. 1. Drinking too much water before bed. Imagine this. You finish dinner, take your evening pills, and just before bed, you remember I should drink more water. It seems like the healthy thing to do. Hydration is good for the heart, right? Especially as we age. So you fill a glass, maybe 2, and head to bed feeling responsible. But then it begins. You wake up once, then twice, each time to use the bathroom, and in between those wake-ups, your heart never fully rests. Your brain never sinks into deep, healing sleep. The rhythm of your night is broken, and silently, the risk builds. You see, after 60, your bladder loses elasticity, your kidneys slow down, and your brain's ability to suppress nighttime urination weakens. That means the more you drink in the evening, the more likely you will be pulled out of bed again and again. But the danger isn't just the inconvenience of waking up. It's like trying to run a heating system that keeps turning on and off every 20 minutes. The house never truly warms, and the system wears out faster. Your heart and blood vessels are the same. Constantly interrupted rest causes your body to overwork instead of restoring. Here's what many people don't realize. Getting up at night increases your risk of a fall, especially in low light when your blood pressure drops the moment you stand. Even worse, multiple studies show that disturbed sleep can spike your nighttime blood pressure, a hidden trigger for strokes during sleep. A study published in the Journal of Stroke and Cerebrovascular Diseases found that seniors who urinate more than twice per night have a 1.8 times higher risk of stroke compared to those who sleep through the night. That's almost double the danger, simply from too much fluid intake after sunset. So what should you do instead? It starts with shifting your hydration window. Try to drink most of your fluids earlier in the day, especially between breakfast and mid-afternoon. After 7 p.m., taper off. If you feel thirsty closer to bedtime, sip just a little, not a full glass. And if you take medications that make you thirsty, talk with your doctor about the best time to dose. Some people find it helpful to drink a warm herbal tea an hour before bed, but just half a cup. It's enough to comfort the body without flooding your system. Over time, your sleep will become deeper, your nighttime blood pressure steadier, and your bathroom trips fewer. Now that your nights are quieter and your sleep is deeper, Let's look at another mistake that feels innocent, but wreaks havoc inside your body the moment your head hits the pillow. 2. Lying down right after eating. It's been a long day. Dinner is done. Your belly is full and the couch is soft. You lean back, maybe pull up the blanket, and drift into a light doze thinking you have earned this little rest. But what feels like comfort on the outside might be quietly stirring chaos on the inside. After we eat, blood rushes to the stomach to help digest food. That's normal. But when you lie flat too soon, your digestive system is forced to work harder against gravity. Pressure builds in the abdomen, stomach acid can rise, and worse, insulin spikes from the meal start interfering with your body's ability to relax and repair. Think of it like washing dishes with the drain plugged. Instead of everything flowing smoothly downward, it piles up, overflows, and backs into places it shouldn't be. That's what lying down after eating does to your digestion and, over time, to your blood vessels. When digestion happens in a horizontal position, especially in seniors, it can raise nighttime heart rate and disrupt blood pressure regulation during sleep. Over time, these changes increase pressure on blood vessels, including those feeding the brain. This is a recipe for silent damage and, in some cases, sudden stroke. A major study from the University of Ioannina in Greece tracked over 1,800 older adults. It found that those who went to bed within an hour after dinner had nearly 3 times the risk of nocturnal hypertension compared to those who waited longer. And that blood pressure surge at night, it's one of the strongest predictors of strokes that strike during sleep. So what can you do differently? Start with one rule: give your body 2 to 3 hours to digest before lying flat. That means finishing dinner earlier whenever possible. Even just pushing your evening meal to 6:30 instead of 8 can make a big difference. If you do feel tired after eating, try sitting upright in a chair with a straight back instead of reclining. Some gentle movement, like washing a few dishes or walking slowly around the house, can also help activate digestion without straining the heart. And when bedtime comes, keep your last bite at least 2 hours behind you. If you're hungry late, choose something light and low in sugar like half a banana or a bit of warm milk. These soothe the stomach and help the body ease naturally into sleep. Once your digestion is no longer sabotaging your sleep, it's time to look at something else that feels harmless, but can quietly hijack your brain and blood pressure from the inside out. 3. Watching stressful news before bed. It starts with just one headline, a breaking story, some political argument, maybe a crime report. You tell yourself, I just want to stay informed. So you keep scrolling, keep watching, even as your eyelids get heavier. But while your body is winding down, your brain is lighting up, and not in a good way. You see, the human brain, especially after 60, is highly sensitive to emotional input. When you watch distressing or dramatic content before sleep, your nervous system gets pulled into a fight or flight state. Your heart rate creeps up. Cortisol, your stress hormone, floods your bloodstream. And even if you fall asleep, your body remains on edge. It's like leaving the engine of your car running all night while it sits in the garage. The outside may look still, but under the hood, the system is overheating, burning fuel, and wearing itself down. When your brain absorbs stressful content before sleep, your internal systems keep idling on high alert, even if you're lying motionless in bed. The result: your heart doesn't get to cool down, your blood vessels stay tense, and your brain never truly rests. This is not harmless. That quiet elevation in stress hormones during sleep affects how your heart and blood vessels behave. Normally, blood pressure should dip by 10 to 20% at night. But in people exposed to stress before sleep, that dip disappears. This phenomenon, known as non-dipping, is a strong predictor of nighttime strokes. A 2020 study from Tohoku University in Japan followed over 3,000 older adults. Those who consumed stressful media within an hour of bedtime had significantly poorer sleep quality. And more importantly, were 2.7 times more likely to experience abnormal blood pressure fluctuations during the night. The risk was especially high in those already managing hypertension. So what's the healthier path? First, protect the final hour of your day like sacred ground. Avoid news apps, political debates, or dramatic television before bed. These things may be informative, but they come at the cost of your peace and potentially your health. Instead, create a wind-down ritual that signals safety to your brain. Try replacing news with soft music, gentle reading, or quiet reflection. Many people find that writing down 3 things they're grateful for each night helps release tension and lower heart rate. And if you live with others who leave the news on, don't be afraid to step into another room. Your rest is not negotiable. Sleep isn't just for feeling refreshed, it's when your heart and brain repair themselves. Don't give that time away to someone else's panic. Now that your mind is calmer and your heart is steady, let's step into your bedroom because one simple thing in that room could be silently stealing your ability to rest and recover each night. Rain. Sleeping in a bright room. It's bedtime. You brush your teeth, turn off the main lights, and leave the TV running just a little longer. Or maybe the hallway light spills softly through the door, or a street lamp glows faintly through the window. You close your eyes, thinking, it's just a little light. It won't bother me. But the truth is, your body is listening even in the dark. Your eyes may be closed, but the cells behind your eyelids still detect brightness. And for the aging brain, even low levels of light can confuse the internal clock, disrupt hormone release, and throw off the entire rhythm of rest. Think of your bedroom like a theater. When the curtains are fully drawn and the room is dark, the performance begins, your body slips into deep repair. But if someone leaves a door cracked open with hallway light flooding in, the atmosphere is broken. The brain stays half alert, waiting, watching, never quite relaxing. That's what light does to your nervous system at night. It keeps your inner stage from ever going fully dark. Melatonin, your body's sleep hormone, is especially sensitive to light. It's what tells your blood pressure to dip, your heart rate to slow, and your brain to begin its nightly cleanup. Without enough melatonin, your blood vessels stay slightly tense. Your heart beats harder than it should, and inflammation quietly builds. A study by researchers at Northwestern University found that older adults who slept with even moderate light exposure, such as from a television or street light, had higher overnight heart rates, greater insulin resistance, and significantly higher risk of developing high blood pressure and type 2 diabetes. That may sound unrelated to stroke, but these are all conditions that slowly damage blood vessels, especially in the brain. So what can you do? Start by creating a sleep environment that supports complete darkness. Replace bright overhead lights with small, warm-tone lamps in the evening, preferably red or amber hues, which don't block melatonin. Use blackout curtains to keep outside light out. And if you need a nightlight for safety, choose one with a red bulb and place it low to the ground. Consider turning off the TV entirely, or setting a sleep timer if you absolutely need sound. And if you live in a shared space where you can't control all light sources, an eye mask can be a simple but powerful ally. With your room darkened, your brain finally gets the message it's safe to let go. And in that full, deep rest, your heart, your vessels, and your mind begin the real healing work of the night. But even with the perfect lighting, there's one more habit that could be undoing everything, and it has to do with how you sleep, not just where. 5. Sleeping sitting up or with a high pillow. You're tired, but lying flat just doesn't feel right. Maybe it's acid reflux. Maybe it's shortness of breath. So, like many others, you stack an extra pillow or two, or you rest in a recliner chair to make breathing easier. It feels like a smart adjustment, But hidden beneath that comfort is a serious risk most people never suspect. When you sleep sitting up or with your head propped too high, your neck bends forward. The angle may seem small, but over hours, it compresses the blood vessels that feed your brain. As the neck tilts, blood flow becomes restricted, oxygen delivery slows, and in older adults with already narrowed arteries, this can be the final push toward a stroke. Imagine trying to water a garden with a hose that's pinched near the faucet. You'll still get some flow, but the pressure drops. Some areas get missed entirely. Now imagine that's happening inside your neck every night. That soft pinch adds up. Night after night, your brain runs just a little hungrier for oxygen. Studies published by the American Heart Association have highlighted the danger of cervical compression, a condition made worse by poor sleeping posture. Seniors who regularly sleep at a steep incline or with neck flexion have a significantly higher incidence of transient ischemic attacks and full strokes, especially when combined with spinal degeneration. So what's the alternative? First, examine your pillow. It should support the natural curve of your neck, not push your head forward. A thinner, firmer pillow often works better than a soft, high one. If you sleep on your back, your chin should not touch your chest. And if you must elevate your upper body for breathing, do so by raising the entire upper torso using a wedge pillow or an adjustable bed, not just your neck. Sleeping on your side, especially the left side, is often ideal for both heart function and digestion. For added comfort, place a pillow between your knees to keep the spine aligned. And for those who feel safer in a recliner, consider transitioning to a bed, slowly starting with shorter naps to build confidence. When your body lies supported and open, blood flows freely, the brain rests deeply, and the heart gets a full chance to restore. Never underestimate the power of posture, because how you sleep matters just as much as how long. Now that you've adjusted how you lie down, let's wrap things up and bring it all together, because these 5 changes might just be the quiet reason you live a longer, stronger life. Every night, your body asks for one simple thing: a chance to repair, a chance to heal, to reset, and to prepare for one more day of living fully. But when small mistakes pile up like too much water, late night meals, overstimulating news, bright lights, or poor, slow-moving posture, they quietly chip away at that protection. None of these habits seem dangerous in the moment. In fact, many of them feel helpful, even comforting. But as we've seen, each one can raise your risk of stroke, heart strain, or interrupted healing, especially after 60, when the body needs more support, not less. The good news is that change doesn't require perfection. You don't need to overhaul your whole life. You just need to notice. To pause before bedtime and ask, is what I'm doing helping me sleep deeply, or is it silently wearing me down? By making small shifts, earlier dinners, dimmer lights, quieter evenings, better posture, you give your body the message it's been longing to hear. You're safe. You can rest now. And over time, that message becomes a shield, a layer of protection that lowers your risk, strengthens your heart, and helps your brain stay sharp longer. Because aging well isn't about staying busy, it's about sleeping wisely. If this video helped you understand your body a little better, or made you think twice about one bedtime habit, I hope you'll share it with someone you love, a friend, a parent, a neighbor, because a few minutes tonight could mean many more tomorrows. And if you'd like more gentle guidance like this, stories, science, and wisdom to help you stay strong through the years, don't forget to subscribe. We release a new video every week, and we'd be honored to walk this path with you. Sleep well, stay safe, and remember, your nights matter more than you think.